When you get a contract, you understand most of it, but you might not know how to quickly verify it matches what you agreed to. After more than 15 years of reading and negotiating contracts, when it comes to usage rights, 90% of what I negotiate falls in just a few key areas. So rather than reading everything, I'm going to help you focus on where to look and what to flag so you can quickly confirm it matches what you agreed to. Your goal is to intentionally review the contract to make sure it aligns with your understanding. You're verifying that the contract reflects the answers to the 5 usage questions. The fact is that even though the contract looks dense, the decision points are actually only a few small sections. So where are you going to scan to pinpoint the usage language? Your first tool in scanning the contract is the section headers. Look for sections with names like rights granted, license, ownership, or intellectual property. If you can't find one of those, then check deliverables or the scope of work. Headings can be helpful, but sometimes important terms will be hidden in other sections. That's why your second tool is entering keywords into the Find tool, so you can see where they pop up. Your goal with this kind of contract review is verification. It's not 100% comprehension. The central question you're trying to answer is, does this reflect the usage we agreed to? You're not guessing, you're comparing what's written in the contract to the usage you already discussed with your clients. Because you're only reviewing to make sure it matches up, you can focus your efforts on the key points of the contract that dictate usage, rather than reading every single word. There are 3 common red flags I find when doing this kind of review. The first is all rights or ownership transfer language. If you and your client agreed to transfer copyright ownership, then this isn't a red flag. But if you didn't, then you should be scanning the contract for phrases like all rights, copyright assignment, transfer, work for hire, or buyout. If you see these phrases, then it's likely that the contract isn't aligned with the usage that you and your client agreed to. You'll flag any sections of the contract that include this language to take back to the client for clarification, so you can align the written contract language with your understanding. The second common red flag I see is misalignment with the end date of the usage. If you and your client have agreed that they can use the work indefinitely, then language like in perpetuity isn't a red flag. But if you didn't and you find this language, then once again, this is an opportunity to clarify with the client. Because otherwise, you're locking in the terms even if their usage evolves. The third red flag I see is specific language we agreed on getting turned into vague usage language. Scan the contract for phrases like for marketing purposes, in any media, including future media, or any and all usage. The reason these vague phrases can be red flags is that they have multiple meanings. And when something has the potential to be understood in multiple ways, it creates misalignment later. So flag it now so you and your client can insert that boringly specific language that meets your prior agreement. Typically, these red flags aren't a sign that your client is trying to take advantage of you. Instead, it's usually a sign that they didn't properly update their contract template. The contract likely includes what we lawyers call a 4 corners clause. This clause means that no prior conversations, emails, or agreements stand. Only what's written in the contract is the deal. So take a few minutes here to confirm that the actual contract language matches what you and the client previously discussed. If everything's aligned with your understanding, then it's safe to sign. But if there's misalignment with the written contract and your prior conversations, then it's time to go back to the client for clarification. One way to start this conversation is something like, I noticed the copyright ownership language changed. Did something happen internally that required this adjustment? The big takeaway from this video is 100% comprehension isn't required to effectively review a contract. You need to scan, compare what you find with your understanding, and adjust where required. And if you're finding yourself second-guessing what something means once you spot it, that's where reviewing real contract language starts to matter more than just understanding the concepts. You are ready to sign when you can answer the following 2 questions. Does what's written match our prior conversations? Do I understand what I'm giving up? If you need help with the second question, then make sure you check out the contract decoder inside the Artist Courtyard. It's the resource you turn to whenever a contract makes you hesitate. You'll have the confidence to make the best decision for your business because you're no longer guessing what the fine print actually means. In the next video, we'll handle the tricky situation that happens when a client wants more usage rights than you're comfortable giving.